Oops. Alright, so I am still trying to come up with the best way to mount my trailer tires to my trailer. Speaking of which, I don't even know why I'm bothering now. At this point, my trailer's not here. I don't know what happened to my trailer. My Crazy Joe car trailer is missing. These are the wheels and tires for my Crazy Joe car trailer. But the trailer itself is not here. Somebody has my trailer. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. Hopefully it makes an appearance back here. I guess I'll just carry on with trying to perfect the wheel and tire mounting system. Anyway, I've done a couple videos about my trailer there. Some of it hasn't gotten posted because I've tried a couple different things. My problem was the axles were so small and flimsy. I was beating it up too much. They just couldn't take the abuse. So I ditched the axles going all the way across the bottom of the trailer, and I went with a plates down either side of the trailer, and then put studs, 2 studs on each side, and mounted the wheels to the studs. Okay, I'll have pictures and stuff to show you here what to go along with this. You'll totally understand it all. So that worked okay, but at Halloween we did a Halloween run, and I had a pretty heavy pumpkin on there. The trailer itself has some weight to it, so it was a bit of work for the Summit to pull it. It was not a very free-rolling load, let's say. So I don't know if you can see, but inside the hole, do you see how the threads, you know, started to thread the inside of the aluminum, basically, right? So when the wheel was straight and just rolling on the bolt, that's fine. But as soon as I would try and turn or something, just that wee bit of movement was enough to cause some friction and make it seize up a little bit. So not fabulous. I mean, that trailer a haul, I mean, in reality, a person could stand on my trailer, my Crazy Joe trailer. You're not going to hurt the trailer. So, you know, obviously I'm not going to put that much weight on it, but it'd be nice to be able to put a giant pumpkin or whatever I may want to put on it. You know what I mean? A really heavy trail truck, and still be able to handle it with the weight of the trailer and everything else. So anyway. Okay, there we go. So there's 2. I only did 2 to start with, so I can see where everything was going to end up. And alright, so here we go. This is my my trailer, my car trailer, my Crazy Joe Rude Boys trailer. So I mean, these things are solid. This is a good heavy duty trailer, all steel. I mean, this trailer is going to last forever. I've had some issues with the axle setup. It used to have full axles running across down low, right? And the problem was ground clearance in the center. I mean, you know, if you're going to drive it like a scale car trailer and not drag it through the bush and over the rocks and stuff like that, you're okay. But I've gone through a couple of different sets of axles on this. Everything from the axles just snapping off because they were so small where the wheels mount, to just getting so much bend in the axles across here that you know, they don't work anymore, right? So I'm hoping to put this together as a couple of videos of all the different things that I've done is the plan. So you should have already seen that before this. So hopefully I did it correctly. So you can see now I've ditched the axle springs setups completely, all gone. And so what I did this time is I took some flat Delrin. Okay, this is Delrin, what we call Delrin. It's a hard, super hard plastic type material. This is a 3/8 thick piece. I've bolted it to my chassis, to the trailer chassis. Okay, and then in there what I've done is made axles. Okay, now this is what I did the last time with this, so the Halloween run, this is how I had it out. With the wheels were just running on this stud like this, and then I just set washers and nuts to keep the wheel, you know, straight and true without wobbling or anything, right? The problem is that when you turn the trailer a little bit or something, just that little bit of turning on here was enough for the aluminum wheels to bind into the threads of the stud and cause, you know, binding, hang up, friction. Just, it didn't pull very nice, right? Now when you're trying to haul a load on your trailer, you can't have stuff binding. It's just, it's not good, man. That poor Summit worked its butt off on that run, I'll tell you what. So from there, I've come up with another way to do it, okay? So I left my studs, everything is all the same, all the mount that I did originally, okay? So here's the wheels on the new side now. And you can see, I mean, these babies spin super free. They look a little wobbly. I've stuffed some oversized foam into the tires. Boss Claws foams is what I've stuffed into these little rock locks, okay? So they are a little off, but whatever. Once I get it laid down and driving like a trailer, it's not going to make any difference, but it works great. That's the thing. There's absolutely no friction. These guys are, each wheel now is running on running on 2 flange bearings, one on the inside, one on the outside, a little bushy in the middle. It's just, it's so cool. This is going to work so good. I just know it. There's no issues. So here's what I've done. I'll show you. I'll just give you a quick look at what I ended up with. Okay. So you can see here, that's a flange bearing. You can see the flange there? So a flange bearing sits in against something and obviously can't go all the way through, provided the hole's the right size, right? It sits against the, you know, the face of whatever you insert it into. So that's awesome. That's the kind of thing I was looking for. And I already had the hardware in the trailer. I didn't want to change that again. So I lucked out actually. PM Hobbies, where I got my flange bearings from, and they happen to be almost the right size for the studs. So here's where I'm at. Okay, so a bearing goes on this side of the wheel. So I took and drilled these. I drilled this set of wheels out. Now I had already drilled them out once a little bit for the stud, right? From the 4mm size to this, I think that's 8 or something, 6 or 8 mil, whatever it is. 1/4 inch anyway. So I had already drilled the wheel out for that. So once I got the flange bearings, I figured to heck with it. I just drilled the wheel out again. I could have done this differently. I could have drilled a Delrin and mounted the flange bearings in there or something. But these wheels will be with this trailer. I mean, that's it. Simple as that, right? They're gonna stay with it, period. So once I put them on there, it doesn't matter that I drilled them out. They're gonna work great for this application. I can live with it, okay? So here you go. See that? So the one flange bearing fits in the face like that. See how sweet that is? And then here on the back side, so you can see it in there. So see that? So I now have 2 bearings in there, right? It's supported by a flange bearing on each side. Now here's the trick, okay? Now look. The flange bearing is actually too big for this, right? But the flange bearing fits right over this aluminum tubing. It's perfect fit, like snug. Hold on. Try the other end here. See? Perfect fit onto that bearing, okay? And then that aluminum tubing, which is basically going to be a bushing inside of the bearing, look at this, fits perfectly onto the wheel, onto the stud, sorry. You can see. Okay, so here. So I'll put the bearings, although you can see on the other side, that's exactly what we're shooting for, but oops, wrong way. So we'll go through the front. Look at that. So basically all I have to do, and I've already done the 2 on the other side, they're finished. I just haven't mounted these 2. So what I've done there is cut a piece of this this aluminum tubing to be just slightly longer than the width of the or depth of the two bearings, you know what I mean? So from the outside of this bearing to the outside of this bearing, my bushing is slightly longer, so that when I get it set on there and tighten everything up, I'm not binding the wheel in any way. So I figure by doing that and by thread locking the wheel nuts good, the nuts, I used nylocks on here, but what I found last time was that they were still coming loose. Now that was without bearings though, so it may not even be an issue this time, but what I'll do is when I put the nuts on, I'll thread lock them exactly where I want them, and you know, then they should stay put. But I'm sure this is going to work. This is going to be the ticket. I have no question. I held a giant pumpkin on this at Halloween. And man, if I would have had the wheels rolling like this, it would have been so much easier on the Summit, easier on the batteries, right? So this year, well, I mean, now it's Christmas time, obviously, and I'm gonna haul this sucker downtown on the Urban Assault 5. I want to haul a Christmas tree on it, is where I'm at. So I had to do something here to improve the way it rolls. And plus, when I get this thing behind the Summit, man, I drag it anywhere, so it's got to be able to take the abuse. These axles, this setup, super tough, man. Like, that's 1/4 inch hardware. You know what I mean? You're not going to hurt that. With this, I mean, if these wheels were more solid, if they wouldn't compress, I could stand on this trailer now at this point and pull myself. So, you know, those wheels that I showed you just before this video of SS Louis, those hard wheels in this setup, I could stand on the trailer and drive along. I know I could. There's no question about it. The Summit's got the power. If you got something that rolls freely like that, easy. So, okay, well there you go. I guess I better get this fixed. Saturday's not that far away, and I got to be ready to go. So, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think of that. I know there's lots of ways a guy could go about this, but I think this is an effective way. Maybe not the prettiest, but whatever, right? Anyway, thanks a lot, guys. Have a good one.